Hello everyone. So in today's video, we are going to be covering 5 days of severe weather. Uh, Unfortunately, I tried to record a video, but I don't think I recorded, so I was just yapping to myself for 40 minutes. Wonderful. I hate when that happens. Um, anyway, I digress. So we're going to be covering 5 days of severe weather: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, normally I would get really descriptive, but I'm just going to summarize everything because I don't want to really put a ton of idiosyncrasies in the video. I don't want to be so idiosyncratic and redundant. So here we go. So not really going to go on weather-wise or anything. I'm just going to summarize details from the Storm Prediction Center's website. So here we go. So this is Saturday's severe weather outlook. It's day 3. There's a slight risk for parts of West Texas into southeast New Mexico, with a marginal risk extending from the Mexico border into New Mexico, into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, into Kansas, Nebraska, portions of southwest Iowa, and southeast Colorado. It's a level 2 out of 5. Let's read the description really quickly. We're not going to look at Central California because it does not have anything to do with the severe weather risk that's going on in Texas and New Mexico. Summary: scattered thunderstorms, some producing hail and strong gusts, will be possible on Saturday across parts of West Texas and eastern New Mexico. Isolated strong thunderstorms cannot be ruled out, affecting parts of central California. Synopsis: an upper low will swing southeastward into central and northern California late on Saturday, providing lift and widespread precipitation. To the east, an upper ridge will be located over the Mississippi Valley during the day, and this will shift east toward the Appalachians by 12Z Sunday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. In between these features, a broad zone of modest southwest flow aloft will encompass the Rockies and Plains states. At the surface, a large area of high pressure will exist over the eastern states, with gusty south winds helping to bring 50s to 60s dew points across Texas and Oklahoma. A lee trough over the high plains will be a focus for afternoon storm development, where shear may support areas of severe storms. Elsewhere, low pressure will also affect parts of central California moving ashore late in the day. This may also focus a few strong storms. Southern plains. Low pressure will deepen over the northern and central high plains, with gusty south winds bringing 50s dew points as far north as Nebraska by 0Z. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Southeasterly surface winds will also bring moisture westward across West Texas and into eastern New Mexico. Here, strong heating and a lack of capping will result in scattered numerous thunderstorms during the afternoon. Shear will not be strong, with only 25 to 35 knots of southwesterly flow, southwest winds at 500 millibars. Some storms may produce hail, and several storms or clusters may propagate eastward through the night, with areas of strong to severe gusts possible. A separate area from northeast Colorado into Kansas and western Nebraska may support a few severe cells producing hail, as well as this area will experience stronger heating near the deepening surface trough and with locally back to surface winds. So again, this is for day 3. The severe risk starts here and will continue into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So here's the day 4 through 8 severe weather outlook. It's pretty obvious that it is day 4 through 8, if you could see from the title. And if you can't see, then I do apologize, but we are on the day 4 through day 8 severe weather outlook. Currently, we're highlighting day 4 because D stands for day, and D4, day 4, is blood red, so we are on day 4. Also, it says it in the bottom left-hand corner, SPC, day, whatever day, and then severe weather outlook, in this case, day 4. And, you got the forecaster and everything when it's valid, blah, blah, blah. So this risk encompasses Central Texas into, basically all of Central Texas, into eastern and western, or not eastern, but central and western Oklahoma, not including the Oklahoman Panhandle, and also into south central Kansas. So some cities that are included in this include Wichita, Woodward, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Norman, Fort Sill, Wichita Falls, Dallas, Abilene, Waco, and Austin. San Antonio and Midland are not in this risk of severe weather, but they're very, 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 very close to being in there. Some fringes of the cities are encompassing it, impinging it, but the center is not totally in it. So now we move on to day 5. Now day 5 is a huge risk, very huge. Many populated areas are under this risk. Many people, around 30 million people, are in this realistically. If we're looking in 2026, realistically, around 30 to 35 million people are in this risk. So this is for Monday. This was Sunday's risk. This is Monday's risk. So portions of north central Texas into central and eastern Oklahoma, into northwest Arkansas, into eastern Kansas, into central northern and western Missouri, into eastern Nebraska, and eastern and southeastern South Dakota, the whole state of Iowa, which is really significant, the southern fringe, well, not really a fringe, but the southern part of Minnesota, the western and southwestern parts of Wisconsin and western Illinois, specifically northwestern Illinois, and parts of west central Illinois, but, this encompasses like 11 states, which is absolutely mind-boggling, and some cities included in this, include Minneapolis, La Crosse, Sioux Falls, Norfolk may be in this, maybe on the border of being in this, but I don't know. Des Moines, Omaha, Lincoln, Hannibal, Kansas City, Jefferson City, Springfield, Wichita, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Norman, Fort Sill, Wichita Falls, Dallas, and Fort Worth, Texas. That's a lot of cities and a lot of populated areas that are under Monday's severe weather risk. So it's going to be a gloomy, gloomy Monday, making the day more depressed as the day goes by. However, Tuesday, there's a even bigger severe weather risk. And Tuesday, according to some potential prognosticators on social media, may have the highest end severe weather ceiling. However, I really think that's BS because obviously uncertainty builds and builds and builds exponentially as you go further and further and further into the future. Anyway, so this encompasses central and northern Texas, excluding the Panhandle, central, western, and eastern Oklahoma, not including the Oklahoman Panhandle, northwest Arkansas, central and eastern Kansas, central, northern, western, southwestern Missouri, southeast Nebraska, central, southern, eastern, southeastern, eastern, and northeastern Iowa, a very small fringe of southeastern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, and south central, southwestern, southeastern Wisconsin, central, western, northwestern, northern Illinois, the western and central, southwestern, and south central parts of Michigan, northern Indiana, and northwest Ohio. That's like 13 states, including Lake Michigan, which is definitely not something that you see every day. You don't see this every day, especially at day 6. But you thought that was done? No, because after Tuesday, which is the day that's being shown on screen, we have Wednesday. And Wednesday includes basically all of Arkansas and all of Illinois, which is mind-boggling to say the least. We have eastern Texas, eastern and southeastern Oklahoma, northwest Louisiana, western fringes of Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky, all of Illinois, very, very small fringe of southeast Kansas, and the western fringe of Indiana, also the eastern part of Iowa, and the southern part of Wisconsin, and extreme southwestern Lake Michigan. So some cities that are involved in this risk include Chicago, Peoria, Springfield, Hannibal, Jefferson City, St. Louis, Springfield, Little Rock, Memphis, Paducah, I think, is in there as well, but it's not named. Shreveport, Lufkin, Waco, Dallas, and Austin. Well, why? I feel like this is nobody needs to be in this risk. 5 consecutive days of severe weather. Some people, I actually calculated, were under all risks of severe weather from Sunday to Wednesday. So some people, some very lucky or unlucky people, depending on your perspective, will get 4 days of severe weather. 4 days. That's 96 hours of severe weather back to back to back to back. That's not very fun. It'll get very overwhelming, very exhausting, so it is definitely not something fun. Anyway, let's read the description of the days 4 through 8 convective outlook. Sunday, day 4 to Tuesday, day 6. On Sunday, southwesterly mid-level flow will be in place across much of the nation. At the surface, a moist air mass will be located from the southern plains north-northeastward into the upper Midwest. Much of this corridor is forecast to become moderately unstable by afternoon. The greatest potential for severe thunderstorms will likely be in the southern and central plains, where some solutions have a subtle shortwave trough moving through. Moderate deep layer shear and steep lapse rates will be favorable for supercells with large hail and severe wind gusts. Mid-level flow is forecast to gradually strengthen across the central United States on Monday. In response, moisture advection will continue in the Great Plains. By Monday afternoon, moderate instability should be in place from North Texas northward into the upper Mississippi Valley. Isolated to scattered thunderstorms are expected to develop across this air mass Monday afternoon and evening. Moderate deep layer shear and steep lapse rates will again be favorable for severe thunderstorms, capable of large hail and severe wind gusts. However, a tornado threat may also develop. On Tuesday, an upper-level trough is forecast to move eastward into the southern Rockies as an associated mid-level jet streak ejects northeastward across the southern high plains. A moderately unstable air mass will likely be in place by afternoon from the southern plains northeastward into the mid to upper Mississippi Valley and the southern Great Lakes region. Strong deep layer shear is forecast over the southern and central plains, where a substantial severe threat will be possible. Keyword being substantial. Supercells with large hail, wind damage, and tornadoes are expected Tuesday afternoon and evening, and this is the part where everybody needs to listen to, because this is the scariest part. An upgrade will be possible across parts of the threat area once confidence increases on the timing of the ejecting trough. Just one factor, at least one factor that's delineated in the description, just one factor. Ruling out the uncertainty of this one factor can really overhype the severe weather setup. And finally, our last paragraph, barographical of severe weather. Wednesday, day 7 into Thursday, day 8. The upper level trough is forecast to move eastward across the central United States on Wednesday as a cold front advances southeastward through the Great Plains and upper Midwest. Moderate instability is forecast to develop ahead of much of the front. Thunderstorms that form in areas that destabilize sufficiently could have a severe threat. The severe potential will likely continue into Thursday, as the front advances southeastward into the mid-Mississippi Valley. However, model spread concerning the positioning of the front and timing of the trough increases substantially toward midweek. Sorry, y'all, just allergies kicking my butt. Suggesting a lot of uncertainty exists at this extended range in the period. So, unfortunately, severe weather will continue after Wednesday, which is what is displayed on screen. However, the uncertainty, severity, and variability are all really nebulous, questionable, very much out there. So nobody really knows of the extent for Thursday. However, we know that Saturday through Wednesday, guaranteed thunderstorms every day. Every day for 5 days. So this is going to be a horrid severe weather event. Back to back to back to back to back to back. This is not going to be a very fun event for some people. However, storm chasers are definitely going to be very giddy, very happy. Uh, Depends on where they chase, though. So I'm rooting for the storm chasers because, obviously I'm affiliated with the weather community, and I'm happy when the storm chasers get their footage that they are, so coveted over. But yeah, anyway, that was the risk outlook for days 3 and days 4 through 8. This was severe weather prognosticating, and unfortunately, I'm going to be here. I say unfortunately because that means I have to broadcast severe weather, which means that there's potentially going to be a severe weather event, and severe weather is not good for people because it can kill people, unfortunately. So when I upload, it's kind of an unfortunate thing, but also kind of a fortunate thing because I'm getting this message out to people. Regardless, however, this was me forecasting severe weather for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Please be prepared. Have NOAA weather radios with you. Follow your local National Weather Service on whatever platforms you can. Know your cardinal directions, north, east, south, west. If you're under a watch, prepare immediately. If you're under a warning, take shelter. If you're under a tornado emergency, you got to start praying. Even a PDS tornado warning, you got to start praying. Because if you are in the direct path of the tornado, well, good luck to you and your family if you have one. And if you don't, good luck. Just to you solely. So, yeah. I really don't have anything else to say other than the fact that this is potentially going to be a very grim and somber 5 days. Obviously, the extent of severe weather and the main modal setup is nebulous, fairly questionable at this time, so I really can't say for sure if it's going to be an all wind event, wind and hail event, wind, hail, and tornado event, all hail event, all tornado event. I can't say for sure because obviously it's too far out. However, the Storm Prediction Center sees a potential for everything, so be prepared for everything. That is it. I I may or may not record tomorrow. I'm not sure. If I do, I'll make a video. If I don't, I'll be explaining what I think and what I feel in my community posts on YouTube. Anyways, yeah. So have a great day and a great rest of your week. This is your boy signing off.